Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Morrow, and I am the CEO of American Eagle Gold. We are a junior mining company focused on exploration for gold in Nevada and the lower basin. I want to take this time to introduce you to myself, American Eagle Gold, the company, the Golden Trend, our property, and Ore Group, our team. This is our disclaimer. First of all, our team. American Eagle Gold is part of the umbrella parent company called Ore Group. Now, what is Ore Group? Ore Group is a commodities company focused on junior mining exploration in safe jurisdiction. We are located in Toronto, and currently there are 4 publicly traded companies: QC Copper, Ore Finders, Baseload Energy, and Mustango River Resources. You invest in junior mining companies for 2 reasons: for its asset and its team. I believe we have a great asset and we have a formidable team. Ore Group's successes can speak for itself. In 2020, we outpaced Bitcoin, we outpaced Tesla. The portfolio had an over 800% return. 2 of the main successes was Mustango River Resources. Since October 2019, taking over the company under the vision of Steve Stewart, there's been over 20 times return to shareholders. Baseload Energy, which spun out mid-year 2020 under the leadership of James Sykes, has since had a 10 times return. The Ore Group has a track record of making smart, accretive deals that return value to shareholders. And we plan to do the same thing with American Eagle Gold. We're focused on a location that is world-renowned with a lot of gold in the area. And we're also focused on Nevada and the Western United States. We have a very strong insider ownership. None of our leaders, none of our officers, none of our directors sell their shares. They hold on to them until the very end, until there's a liquidity event. We align our values and our goals directly with our shareholders. And in 2017, 2018, 2019, and one of the reasons why I joined this group was I followed Ore Finders, I followed QC Copper and Gold. And what they did is the gold price wasn't high enough and the cost of capital was too high to put drills in the ground, because even if you made a discovery, you weren't getting that return. The real value came to waiting till the commodities went up and actually consolidating the land. And sure enough, they started to realize the fruits of their labor. The commodities started to go up and they had really great properties. So American Eagle Gold is the newest company that follows that same approach, which is using the Ore Group's strong financial and technical expertise and having an asset that is in a world-class jurisdiction. So again, some of our highlights. Golden Trend is a closology play. Golden Trend is located in the Cortez Trend. It's within a 5-mile by 40-mile stretch of land. That's one of the richest areas to look for gold in the entire world. There's currently 75 million ounces of known gold resources in the area. Again, we have a proven and aligned management team that has a lot of shares, that hold on to their shares, and that have a track record of success. And we're spinning out on the TSX venture in March of 2021. So just a little bit of information on our private placement. I'm sorry to say that we are fully subscribed. Our target on January 8th was to raise $3 million. And within 4 days, we were able to hit our target. That's a testament to the strength and vision of our team. So our private placement was at 20 cents a share with a half warrant exercisable at 30 cents. Currently, pre-IPO, there's approximately 36.5 million shares outstanding. Post-IPO, there will be approximately 51 million shares. Of those shares, approximately 16.5 million shares will be free trading. Again, management and insiders own approximately 51% of the current outstanding shares. And that again shows you that management and insiders focus is aligned with the shareholders. One of the interesting things about our company is that we have a very strong balance sheet right out of the gate. Pre-IPO, we have $850,000 in cash and marketable securities. That's $100,000 in cash and approximately $750,000 in marketable securities. We own 5 million shares of Ore Finders Resources, which is ORX on the TSX venture, and they're currently trading at around 15 cents. In addition, we have a little diamond in the rough. We have a 3% NSR in Cooter Ridge. That's a high grade property located in Papua New Guinea. And if you've seen the recent IPOs and the number of royalty companies that come out and the frothiness of that market, we believe that asset has a lot of value as well. And again, we're scheduled for an IPO in March 2021. And I am very proud to say that we are fully subscribed and ready to go. Nevada, golden trend. Where are we? We are in Nevada. We are in gold country. We are in an anomaly. We are in one of the richest jurisdictions in the entire world to be looking for gold. I said this before. We are in a strip of land approximately 5 miles wide, 50 miles long, that hosts 7 of the 30 largest gold producing mines in the entire world. We are located on the Battle Mountain Eureka Trend, and within that trend, there's a smaller trend called the Cortez Trend. The Cortez Trend has the Gold Rush deposit and the Cortez deposit. Currently, they produce around 1 million ounces on our small little trend, and Gold Rush is actually coming online in 2021. It is the newest, best deposit to come online in the last 20 years. It has over 15 million ounces of gold at 10.69 grams per ton. Now, I was asked before, looking for gold is kind of like searching for a needle in the haystack. What makes you different than others? Well, that's really an easy question. I agree. Searching for gold and being a junior exploration company really is finding a needle in the haystack. What our group's goal is, what American Eagle's goal is, to make that haystack as small as possible. And how do you do that? You make sure you have a property in a world-renowned jurisdiction, and that's where we are. We're in the Cortez Trend. We're in Nevada. We are in elephant country. We're not looking for a small deposit. We're looking for a world-class deposit. And the other way that you really make that haystack smaller is by having a really successful team that has a track record of success. And the OR Group really does have a track record of success. Again, they have a history of making smart, creative deals, and they have a track record of looking after shareholder value, putting as much money towards spending that gives as much value to shareholders. So, 2017, 18, 19 is about consolidation. In 2021, it's about putting that drill in the ground. And our number one goal is to put as much money that we raised into the ground with a vision and a goal to make a world-class discovery. And I believe that we're right on track to do that. So Carlin type deposit, I'll give you a little bit of history, a little bit of a geology lesson. So what is a Carlin type deposit? More or less a Carlin type deposit is invisible gold. And I'll give you a little bit of an example of how this was missed for over 150 years. During the mid 1800s, emigration, which is the largest emigration to come across the United States. Over 200,000 people traveled across the United States of America looking for gold, and that was during the California Gold Rush. They went to California. Those 200,000 people, they walked right over this world-renowned district, and they missed this gold. Now, why did they miss this gold? They missed this gold because it's invisible. It's in sedimentary rock. It's actually encapsulated by pyrite, and it floats. So when panners went to look for gold, which is how they looked for gold back in the 1800s, it actually floated. So they actually couldn't find the gold and didn't know it was there. But to give you an idea of how rich this deposit is, in the peak of the 49 gold rush in 1852, they produced 2.5 million ounces of gold. Now, long since then, California stopped producing that amount of gold. And in 1961, John Livermore actually discovered this deposit, and he discovered the Carlin Trend, and then the rest is history. So the Golden Trend, where is it? It's on the Cortez Trend. It's right next to Gold Rush. As you can see from this map, Golden Trend is 5 kilometers southwest of Gold Rush. It's 10 kilometers southeast of the Cortez deposit. They're both co-owned by Newmont and Barrick. Our land is right adjacent to the Nevada Gold Mines property. And people ask me, well, why does Nevada Gold Mines, own your project? Well, you still have to pay taxes. You still have to put exploration dollars into the ground. And at some point, enough is enough. And even Barrick and Newmont, the biggest gold companies in the world, they have a budget for exploration. And we just happen to own the land where they stopped exploring. So again, the Golden Trend deposit, It's pretty big. It's 925 hectares. That's as big as any mine that's in the area. It's big enough for a world-class mine. It's also big enough for a processing facility. And your tailings, to give you an idea in layman's term how big that is, that's 1,700 football fields. And one of the things that's most attractive to me about the property is that it has not even really ever been explored. So we have complete blue sky potential here. If you want to find out more about the property, please go on our projects page on our website and just look at the 43101. So just a little bit of a history. There's a long history, but yet not really a lot of history as well. It's been owned by multiple different companies, none of which really put the money that they could into the ground. So no one's really explored this, but that creates a big opportunity for American Eagle Gold. The key here is to drill into the lower plate rocks, which no one has spent the money to do. In the history of this property, there's only ever been 3 deep drill holes. Again, 1,700 football fields, there's been 3 drill holes. One of those drill holes was an RC drill hole, which really doesn't allow you to properly analyze the geology and figure out what kind of mineralization there is. Now, there was 2 deep diamond drill holes, and one of them actually got confiscated by Barrick. Kinross drilled it, and it happened to go onto Barrick's property, and it got confiscated. So there is a bit of mystique around that. But there was one drill hole, and that drill hole actually intercepted lower plate rocks, and those lower plate rocks are where the gold is in the area. So at least we know we are on the right track. So this is a cross section of our property. Well, the purple here is the Roberts Mountain thrust. The Roberts Mountain thrust is a thrust that actually thrusted the older rocks on top of the younger rocks. The blue here are the older rocks. As you can see on the north, this is the area where Nevada gold mines are, and all the older rocks are close to surface. Is one of the reasons why they haven't explored this property. They had a lot of older rocks that are close to surface that was easy to access gold. That doesn't say there isn't gold where we are. It's just a little bit more expensive to discover. And when you have a lot of frothy gold deposits, well, you're not going to put exploration dollars to look for the lower rocks where there is the gold. But with lower rocks, a deeper deposit, often there are higher grades. And you can see that from the fact that Gold Rush has, again, a very similar geology where they actually have an underground mine at 10.69 grams per ton and 15 million ounces. Again, in the history, there's only been 1 deep drill hole. Luckily, that 1 deep drill hole, which is hole 051, actually intercepted lower plate rocks. And Rye Patch Gold, which owned the property next door just to the south, they also intersected lower plate rocks. So at least we know we're on the right track. So this is a geophysical survey. What this does, you compare it with other tests to actually vector yourself to find a target and actually eventually put strategic drills into the ground to make a discovery. And the key here is that we can see that there's a northwest trend. Northwest trends tend to be the trends where gold has been discovered in the area. So we know, again, we have good geology here to actually be drilling and searching for gold. And here are geochemical surveys. Again, you combine this with the previous results I showed you, and then you see that there are anomalies, and then we actually have an opportunity. You use these different tests to actually search for gold. And again, you can see the golden soils, arsenic in soils, and mercury soils. Those red dots, those heat spots are all areas where we can actually vector ourselves to find a proper target to make strategic holes in the ground to find that gold. We're raising our money. We're raising $3 million. We want to make sure every drill hole that we put in the ground has a good chance to make an intersection with gold. So our next steps for exploration, we're going to analyze the current data we have. Then we're going to do an MT mag survey. And finally, we're going to put drills into the ground. We have a VPX in Dave Shadrick. Dave is from Nevada. He knows the land. He's actually optioned this property for 27 years. And myself and Steve were looking for a VPX, and our VPX was kind of right under our nose. It's a guy that's been combing over this land, has been very frustrated with previous owners of this property because they actually haven't drilled, and he knows exactly where to drill. I actually spoke to him recently. He has some targets in mind, and having a local person with 45 years of experience really does help you get permits. And permits are extremely important because if you don't have permits, you can't drill. So I am very excited to have Dave on our team, and I'm very excited to start putting the drills in the ground and eventually making a discovery. So this is our board management. Again, all of these individuals are part of the OR group, part of that successful team. My name is Anthony Morrow. I worked at I Am Gold for 10 years. And there's Dave Shadrack. Dave Shadrack, again, 45 years of experience. There's a lot of geologists that have made one discovery. Our geologist, Dave Shadrack, he has also not made one discovery. He has made multiple discoveries. He's a world-class geologist. He has had this land for over 27 years. He's familiar with the land, and he already has targets. So I'm very excited to have him on our team. And finally, I have Stephen Stewart. Stephen is the visionary. He's the reason why I joined the OR group and I joined American Eagle Gold. He looks after every dollar that comes in. He talks to every investor. We treat money that comes in like it's our very own money. Again, no one on this page is ever going to sell any shares of American Eagle Gold or any OR group company until there's a liquidity event. And Stephen is a visionary, and he has a success along with the OR group team of making smart, creative deals. We're going public in March 2021. Again, we're fully subscribed. We're issuing $3 million worth of shares, so approximately 15 million shares at 20 cents a share with a half warrant exercisable at 30 cents for 2 years. Because of TSX Venture rules, we are going public with the golden trend, but you better bet that we are going to keep up with the OR group's reputation of making smart, creative deals. We want to consolidate the area. We want to increase our land package. We also want to acquire other prospective properties in Nevada and the lower basin. So my email is there. You can feel free to email me or phone me. I always have time to talk to any prospective investors or current investors. And the one thing that we do is we're going to come up with the plan, and we are going to execute that plan and actually make a world-class discovery at American Eagle Gold. I want to make our shareholders a lot of money, and I expect 2021 to be a very successful year. Thank you for taking the time to watch this webinar.